All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakodash. Double honors to my apostle, elders, great millstone, and rule well. Peace and sanitation, all the Akim pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Tazim the Bar coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahushua. And through the spirit, just wanted to do a real quick lesson, basically going in Revelation, the 5th chapter. Going to do a brief breakdown of the scriptures. Apparatus out, Lord willing. It's edifying through the spirit, man. And I'm going to just jump it off, man. Just basically going in Revelation, the 5th chapter is basically how Yahweh Shai, in a way, was receiving his blessing, especially when you go into Revelation, the 4th chapter, how Yahweh was having counsel with the 24th elders and the archangels. And then before Yahweh Shai ascended into the cloud, Acts, the 1st chapter, before he went into the heaven, and before we receive Revelation, the 5th chapter, which is the vision that John the Revelator he saw. And I'm going to jump straight into it. And it says, Revelation, the 5th chapter, verse 1, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on a throne a book written wherein on the backside sealed with 7 seals, man. And that him is talking about Yahweh. And it said that book is talking about the Bible. And we know it said sealed with the 7 seals, and that 7 seals represent completion, man. It's completely sealed, man. And that seal represents what? The lack of understanding, the void of understanding here in the earth. And this is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 9. And it says, stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahweh have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes, that prophets and your rulers and seers have they covered, man. And that's what lack of understanding, that lack of understanding of the scriptures, man. Verse 11, and it says, in the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which a man delivered to one that is learned. And that's talking about these guys that take up these so-called seminary schools, and so they so-called learned of the scriptures. And it said, one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he say, I cannot, for it is sealed, man. And that's what that understanding is, sealed, man. Verse 12, the book is delivered to him that is not learned, the ones that so-called brought up in these churches and so-called don't really understand the true meaning of the scriptures, brought up under the church. And it says, the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, I am not learned. And that's what he doesn't have the true understanding, because the understanding of the scriptures is only given to the elect of the nation of Israel, man. That's the only ones that will receive the true understanding and the breakdowns of these scriptures, man. So jumping back, Revelation 5th chapter in verse 2, and I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loosen the seals thereof, man? And the only ones that's going to get the understanding, like we said, to have the full understanding is the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Because how about Shemal Shai will he bestow that wisdom, knowledge, understanding into the elect, man? Real quick, Romans 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest was blinded, man. And that's what, man, they have the lack of understanding. They don't know the true understanding of the scriptures, man. And let's jump back. Revelation chapter 5. And verse verse 2. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loosen the seals thereof? And that's that's talking about until the end, because the book was sealed until the end. Even going in the book of Daniel's, the book is sealed until this day. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 9. Daniel chapter 12, verse 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. And we're still in the time of the end, man. Because you got to understand, the book wasn't open back to the true understanding until Abba Bibbins came back on the scene, which we know through the Spirit that was Elijah the prophet. Elijah the prophet, which is what John the Baptist came back on the scene, and that understanding of the scriptures came back forth unto the earth, man. Because the prophecy of Esau, Edom had to be fulfilled of him, what? Setting his nest amongst the stars real quick. And then Yahweh Bashem Shah said, then I'll take thee down. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 3. The pride of thy heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is on high. Clearly, that's America, man. And it says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's that pride, man, that pride of Esau, Edom. And it says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, which we understand, you go through his history that always been his basic, his trademark of who he is. The Romans, the Germans, all of them, their symbol is the eagle, man. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars. And when he said his nest amongst the stars, that was basically his space programs, his satellites. And also with Donald Trump, when he was in office, he set up the 6th branch military, was what's called the Star Wars program, man. And that's him setting his nest amongst the stars, man. So he can so-called monitor what's going out in space. I'll read it again. Obadiah in verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, hence I will bring thee down, said the Lord. And that's what you're seeing. That's when he started going out of power, man. That's when he started going out of power, because I think it was around 1969, around 70. That's when they set their nest amongst the stars. And that's the same time around when Abba Bibbins, Elijah the prophet, which is John the Baptist, came back on the scene, man. Fulfilling what, man? Malachi 4 and 6, man. That's bringing the hearts of the children back to the Father, man. Also in what Luke 1 in chapter 1 verse 17, that prophecy was being taking place, man. And that's what you're seeing, man. Real quick, let me jump back. It's the book of Daniel 12 and verse where's that? Verse 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to that time of the end. And that was that time period where there was no knowledge of the scriptures in here on earth or in the land, man. And it says, verse 10, many shall be purified and made white and tried. And that's talking about the elect out of the nation of Israel, the ones that have received the understanding. But the wicked shall do wickedly, Esau, Edom, and none of the wicked shall understand. So that's why they didn't understand the true scriptures. They didn't understand the prophecies, man. And it says, but the wise shall understand. And that's talking about the elect out of the nation of Israel, man. That's the elect out of the nation of Israel that obtained the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding, man. That's why Yahweh Shah took the book, so he can bestow that wisdom upon his men. Real quick, jumping back, Revelation 5th chapter, verse 3. And no man in heaven or on earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because John was at grief. He was weeping, man, because he was like, damn, we have no hope, man. We're going to stay in this condition, man, especially when he's seen the revelations and he's seen our people, man, in that lowest state. He said, and I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open the book and to read to open and read the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, and it's the elders, the 24 elders, when you read in Revelation, the 4th chapter, he said, one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed. And he prevailed by what? Going upon that cross and taking our sins upon him, man. Taking that beating for the nation of Israel, man. He said, have prevailed to open the book and to loosen the 7 seals thereof, man. Let me keep going. Let me go to 2 Corinthians 3 and verse 14, because Yahweh Shah had faith. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Mashiach, man. And that veil represent what? The lack of understanding, man. And Yahweh Shah, when he took the book, he brought the understanding back to the elect of the nation of Israel, man. And it says, but even until this day, when Moses represent what? The law, man. He said, but even until this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their hearts. Man, the veil represent what? The lack of understanding. Even to this day, man, the law, they don't even rehearse the laws, man. It says, verse 16, nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. That veil, what? The lack of understanding. Now the Lord is he said, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, man. And that's what that grace, man. And that's the Lord is what he's opened up that understanding to the nation of Israel. And like we said, it starts with the elect of the nation of Israel, man. So let's jump back. Revelation 5th chapter and 6th verse. And I beheld, and he said, I beheld, he was looking, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts represents what? The archangels. And it says, in the midst of the elders, and you read the 24 elders, and stood a lamb as it had been slain. And that's lamb represent Yahweh Shai as it been slain. Real quick, Isaiah 52. I believe it's around the 14th verse. This is Isaiah chapter 52, verse 14. This one speaks on Yahweh Shai, he was slain. As many were astonished at this, his ventures, which his face was marred more than any man, in his form more than the sons of man. And marred goes back to what? It just said he was slain. Disfigurement of face. So he was beaten. He was beaten pretty bad, man. His face, his image. So let's jump back. Revelation the 5th chapter, 16th verse. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns. 7 horns represent the complete power, and 7 eyes means what? Complete understanding, and which are the 7 spirits of Yahweh sent forth into all the earth, man. And that represent the elders and the angels. And it says, and the Holy Spirit as well. And it says, verse 7, and he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And that was Yahweh Shai taking the book from the Father Yahweh. Verse 8. And it says, and when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts, the archangels, and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of their harps and their golden barrels full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints, man. So that's the prayers of the elect that's piercing the clouds, man. They're hearing the sighs and the cries of the elect that's crying out for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. Let's grab a precept on that real quick. This is Luke 18 and verse 7. And shall not Yahweh avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? And that's the prayers and the cries of the elect that's crying out for all the wickedness that's taking place here on Babylon the Great. That's why John was wept. He was in position of mourning when he was like, man, we're never gonna get out of this, man. That's when you read when he was weeping in the Revelation 5th chapter, the 4th verse, when he wept, man. That's the same mindset is the men of the Lord on this side when we're looking at the where our people are and what's going on, and our people don't care, and when it's a low condition, like, damn, we were crying out to the Lord to come get us out of this madness, man. Jumping back, Revelation 5th chapter, verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to Yahweh by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, because the nation of Israel was scattered amongst all the nations, man. Let's grab a few precepts on that. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there shall serve other gods which neither thou or thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So the Lord scattered us amongst all these heathen nations. Let's grab two more. Ezekiel 36 and Ezekiel 36 and 19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, according to their doing. I judged them. So the Lord scattered us. He dispersed us amongst these heathen. Let's grab one more and we'll jump back. Hosea 8 and 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel therein is no pleasure. So we're swallowed up amongst all these heathen nations, man. So let's jump back to Revelation 5th chapter. 9th verse. Let's read it again. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou hast slain and hast redeemed us to Yahweh by the blood out of every kindred and every tongue and every people and nation. He said by the blood, right? So Romans 3 and 23. Romans 3 and verse 23. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh, talking about the elect, the nation of Israel. And it said, being justified freely by the grace through the redemption that is in Mashiach. Verse 25, whom Yahweh has set forth to be a preparation. It goes back to heal through faith in his blood to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are passed through for abundance, or for abundance of Yahweh, man. So basically, the reconciliation is through Yahweh Shah, man. He made us everything right through his blood, man. Because real quick, this is Hebrews 9. Say remissions, right? Hebrews 9 and 22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remissions. There's no remission, man. So basically, remission go back to the pardon of sins and forgiveness. So so Yahweh Shai, when he went up on that cross, he brought us back to the Father, man. That reconciliation, man. Let's jump back. Revelation chapter 5, verse. I believe we had verse 10. And has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on earth. And beheld, I heard a voice of many angels around about the throne. And I heard a voice of many angels round about the throne, the beasts, the elders. The number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands, speaking on the angels. And it's because you don't understand the beast is talking about the archangels. In verse 12, saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power, riches, wisdom, strength, and honor, and glory and blessing. So, hey, this, like we said, man, before we started this chapter, this is basically Yahweh Shai receiving his blessings in the heaven, because when he comes back, he's going to receive his blessing on earth as well. And then this right here, this verse is showing that the angels was giving all praise and honor to Yahweh Shai, man. Let's read it again. Revelation 5th chapter, 12th verse, saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power. So all the angels and the elders and the archangels they was giving praise to Yahweh Shai, man. They was giving him praise, man. Let's give it a real quick one. This is Philippians 2 and 8. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself, become obedient unto death, even the death of the cross, because he bared our iniquities, man. It says verse 9, wherefore Yahweh also have highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name. He have highly exalted him, man, because the angels was praising Yahweh Shai, man. They was giving him praise, man, for what he did for the nation of Israel, man. And he said, in giving him a name, Yahweh Shai, he is deliverer, man. Verse 10, it says that at the name of Yahweh Shai, every knee shall bow of things in heaven, because they was what in heaven they was what giving him honor. He was worthy. They was praising him. He said in heaven and things in earth, because he's gonna get that same praise and honor and glory here on earth very soon. And it says in things under the earth, man, and that's coming. Verse 11, that every tongue shall confess that Yahweh Shah Mashiach is Lord, to the glory of power the Father, man. And that's coming very soon, because he's going to receive his glory and praise on earth very soon, man, because he's going to take the kingdom, man. You read about that in First Corinthians, the 15th chapter, I think around the 23rd, 24th verse, man, because he's going to get the full dominion of this earth, man. All power and rule and authority will be under Yahweh Shah when you read that chapter, man, and that verse, man. And that's coming very soon. Matter of fact, let's get it. First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up. Slocky. And he then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and authority and power. For he must reign till he have put all his enemies under his feet. And that's coming. So Yahweh Shai is going to get his praise upon the earth very soon too. Just like in the heavens, man. Just like in the heavens when the angels was giving him praise, that's coming on earth as well. Because all rule and authority and the power is going to be under his feet, man. So let's jump back. Revelation 5th chapter. And verse 13. And every creature which is in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, the Father and Son. Verse 14, and the four beasts said, Amen. And they was giving, they was with it. They was giving praise. In the 40, it's like in the 4 and the 20 elders fell down and worship him that liveth forever and ever, man. So they was giving him praise and honor, man, because they was worshiping Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, man. So Lord willing, it was a quick edifying lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, you Akim was edified through the Spirit, man. And I'm gonna close it out by saying, call Halayim La Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah by Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles, elders, great Millstone of Ruel. Peace and salutation, all the Akim pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom Akim.